we're going to go. These are a range of players. So it's running backs, wide receivers, tight ends. Or, I mean, we don't have any tight ends, actually. Just mostly running backs and wide receivers. But first off, we're going to go into buy low category. So let's start it off. Buy low, Jonathan Taylor. I think that, Dre, you put this one up?
Yep.
Okay. Why? You buy low on Jonathan Taylor? Tell me. Tell the people. Tell the people why.
I mean, he's coming off his worst game as far as like touches. Only 10 carries. I mean, it's gone down week by week, 17, 15, 10. He didn't find the end zone again. The Colts offense just looks just not good, other than Michael Pittman, who's getting all these targets thrown his way. But I don't think you're going to get any lower than this week with Jonathan Taylor when it comes to the usage that he just had. So if you are one of those believers like I am, he's going to turn it around. This is a week to go get him. I mean, he's like running back, like he's in the 20s. He's where he got drafted to, as opposed to where he's at right now, is nowhere close. And I'm sure there's some impatient people. If you have him on your team, if you have more than one win, I mean, you probably got lucky with some wide receivers. But where he's going, I mean, you don't have, your team can't be that great. I don't know.
Yeah.
In the running back situation, the running back department at least.
Yeah.
Because he was going top, 15, 18 picks overall, and hasn't done a goddamn thing yet.
Yeah.
So, but I would take him. Like I said, I think they'll turn it around. Otherwise, he's just going to have a flop of a season. But I think going forward, I mean, there's no way he gets another game with 10 carries.
Yeah.
Unless they're like dominating or,
I mean, Devin Singletary got 11 carries in week 2. So that does suck.
Yeah.
But
10.
Yeah, that's crazy.
13 touches. Like it's.
Who would you trade? Who would you, like, an example of who you would trade to get Jonathan Taylor? I mean, like buy low, like obviously, I think it'd just be good to give it like maybe an example.
I mean, I think it's like a pride thing too. Like people won't just trade. It's like a first round pick, right? They're like, like Kareem Hunt is doing way better than him, but no one will trade Kareem Hunt for Jonathan Taylor,
right?
Just because where Kareem Hunt went and where he's going. Hunt. So you'd have to. I mean, you could package like a Marvin Jones and maybe, I guess, a Kareem Hunt for him and like another receiver. But I mean, I think it's more of a name and where he's getting drafted where people will be like more reluctant to trade him. Because they're like, oh, fuck, it's my first round pick. Like,
yeah, but I mean.
But he sucks right now.
Now we're in a period of like 3 weeks. People who you would try and target after like week 1, they might, it's only 1 week. Now they're at week 3. Yeah, there might be actually be freaking out about Jonathan Taylor.
For sure.
So I think this is a great time to buy low on him.
Yeah,
for sure.
I mean, unless he has 8 carries next week, which by then you're in the money, but you're not going to win. Then you for sure trade him. But yeah, 10 carries. Yeah,
you could trade him for like half a foot massage maybe.
Yeah, and Quentin Nelson got hurt again. I don't know if you saw that play. That was pretty ugly. Yeah. Somebody rolled on his leg. So
the only thing I could say is that we broke it down during the waiver wire. We said get Nyheim Hines. Is that this is like a running back by committee for me. Because, it really was 101 snaps for Jonathan Taylor and 93 for Nyheim Hines. They paid Nyheim Hines the contract extension to keep him there. They're going to trade Marlon Mack because he's unhappy with his role in that system. So it's basically I guess you want to call it a thunder and a lightning with the Jonathan Taylor and Nyheim Hines. But, I mean, I guess if there's a buy low opportunity, this week the Colts are going to be going against the Dolphins in Miami. And if Peyton Barber can get 100 rushing yards, then I'm a little worried as a Dolphins fan that, this could be the Jonathan Taylor potential breakout game. And, as much as maybe I'm not a big Jonathan Taylor fan personally, this might be your, like, last chance to buy low on him. Because, I mean, Miami right now, they're giving up 4.3 yards per carry on the ground. That's never really good when you're giving up over 4 yards. They're giving up over 136 yards per game on the ground. Like I said, Peyton Barber had over 100 rushing yards, and he's not very good at all. Him and Jonathan Taylor aren't even the same
caliber.
Yeah, stratosphere of talent-wise. And then in terms of like the offensive line too, like the Colts offensive line is way better than the the Las Vegas Raiders line as well. So, like Dre said, buy low now. Because if he goes out against Miami, he has a crazy good game, everyone's going to be like, this is the Jonathan Taylor we drafted, yada, yada, and his stock's going to go back up. But if he doesn't get it done against the Dolphins, then if I had Jonathan Taylor, I would be mucho nervous.
Yeah. Then he's a sell.
Sell low. Panic sell.
He's just like a sell his bitch ass at a garage sale for like, we'll Do you have $5? All right, fine, $5.
Yeah,
You
but
have
I
cash, you have
would
Zelle,
assume
Venmo?
I would assume in like even being a Dolphins fan, I would assume that Jonathan Taylor should have a good game this week against the Dolphins. As much as I hate to say that,
Yeah.
taking the Colts plus the points.
Nice.
Yeah, they've looked bad, and I think it's game script too. They've been playing from behind, and their O line their O line looks bad, dude. My man Carson Wentz rolled his ankle, both ankles on one play. Impressive.
Nice. Yeah,
Impressive.
he broke both of them, didn't he?
Yeah, dude, he got fucking
good.
clapped. So
That's
it's like
crazy.
their O line hasn't been very good either. So it's almost like the Najee Harris thing we are talking
Yeah.
about. His yards per carry is bad, but they're just like, you know what? Swing pass.
I don't know. I'll show you
Just as
some-
good as a carry.
I'll show you some game tape on Najee Harris that concerned me, actually.
Oh.
Yeah. Anyways, okay, let's go on to the next buy low candidate. This is Tyler's. I love it. Allen Robinson.
Buy
The
low.
Chicago Bears have had a net passing yards of 1 last week because Justin Fields got sacked for negative 67 yards and he threw for 68 yards. So
It's impressive.
that's
dude.
insane. I mean, I like that. I mean, you don't like that if you have Allen Robinson, but it could be a reason to trade for him.
Yeah, I mean, Allen Robinson, like we're kind of talking off air, like I have him in one league and I just, every time I look at him, like I drafted Allen Robinson. I've never been a big Allen Robinson, like fantasy fan. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's because of the Bears. I don't know if it was because of Trubisky. I just didn't trust him back in the day. You know, I've always thought Allen Robinson is a super talented wide receiver, and obviously he's done it because he was getting a fuck ton of targets back in the day. But yeah, so finally I pulled the trigger. He was there in one of these leagues that I was in, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna give Allen Robinson a shot right here. And every time I look at him in my lineup, I just want to kick myself right in the dick. Because I have to look at
fucking
Allen
dick,
Robinson in my lineup, and it's just, you're not sitting him, no matter what it is. But I mean, just some positive reasons why I would be targeting Allen Robinson as a buy low candidate, because maybe you get a disgruntled Allen Robinson owner like myself.
Yeah.
And they're willing to part ways with him and put him on the trading block. But, I mean, he has a 25% target share right now, which is just, whenever you have a 25+% target share, tight end, receiver, whatever it may be, that's really good. That actually ranks him as the 20th highest ranked receiver in terms of target share. And then this week, they're at home against the Detroit Lions. The Detroit Lions, not very good at defending the pass. I don't care if it's Nick Foles, fucking Justin Fields, Andy Dalton. I mean, maybe they can go fucking trade for Mitch Trubisky. I'm saying fuck a lot this episode. Sorry.
Yeah.
They can go. Sorry, fuck my bad. Yeah, basically what I'm saying is I don't care who the quarterback is. The Detroit Lions pass defense is really bad. They're allowing 10 yards per catch, which is the highest catch rate allowed in terms of yards per catch in the entire NFL. They lost Jeff Okudah to I think it's Achilles injury in week 1, he was the 3rd overall pick a couple years back. They drafted another rookie corner who I believe was either, their 2nd or 3rd string corner. He's out on IR as well. So this Lions secondary is pretty beat up and banged up. And when you get the Bears at home against them, I think this could be a game where we finally see what Allen Robinson presents. It's almost like that same thing like with Jonathan Taylor. This might be the last week you could buy low on him because if Allen Robinson comes out and has, one of these games where he puts up 8 catches, 80 yards, and a touchdown, people are going to be like, okay, yeah, that's the guy I drafted. That's the Allen Robinson that I've been thinking about. So I'm willing to take a shot and buy low on him right now. Last week, tough game against, you're getting a rookie quarterback on the road in Cleveland who's, I've said it multiple times. I think Cleveland is probably a top 10 defense, low key.
Oh, for sure.
They're pretty stacked across the board at all 3 levels. The Cleveland Browns defense is, that is. So just a tough matchup for a rookie on the road. Now he's going to go home playing against a bottom 5 pass defense. So, yeah, I like Allen Robinson as a buy low target.
And the thing is his coach's middle name is Idiot. So, Matt Idiot Nagy.
He's a bum.
Okay.
Yep.
Let's go on to the next one. This one is my buy low candidate. I present to you with Sir Bobby Trees, also known as Robert Woods.
Bobby Trees.
We all love Robert Woods, don't we, boys?
We do.
We love him.
It's my dog.
And my boy Robert Woods, it's not like he's not on the field. He's got an 88% snap count in week 3. The targets are not completely there. In week 1, we had 4 targets, 2, 9 targets, 6 targets in week 3. But if you look at these defenses they're playing against, you got the Bears, Colts, and Bucks. They're all pretty decent defenses. So I think it's just the game script. I don't know what it is. Obviously, Cooper Kupp's having big games. but Robert Woods, even if you think about, like, if you're thinking about picking up Deshaun Jackson after this past week, Deshaun Jackson was on the field 32% snap count. Give me Robert Woods all day over that. So yeah, the receptions aren't fully there. You know what I mean? It's not, you haven't seen anything totally great with Robert Woods, but it's going to come. So, and I think Robert Woods is probably one of the receivers that he really hasn't had one good game so far. And so I think he's the one that people are probably panicking the most on. And I'm highly targeting him in most of my leagues. Because I didn't get very many shares of either Cooper Kupp or Robert Woods. I don't know if you guys feel the same way.
No, for sure. I mean,
88% snap count is really good. I mean, that's a lot.
Yeah, he's still top 20 in terms of red zone targets. I think just Cooper Kupp's just been getting all the love. I do think there are better days. He's been getting all the love. I do think there are better days ahead for Robert Woods. I mean, he's got a 20% target share, so it's not great. It's not terrible. I think we'll start to see some of those targets kind of go his way in the future. And I do think there are better days ahead for Bobby Trees. I mean, you just see how, this Rams offense is really good with Stafford. So, and it's
crazy.
And I was watching some tape too, and it's like Robert Woods is open. I mean, there's a couple plays where he's like kind of almost forcing it to Cooper Kupp, but you see down on the right side of the field, Robert Woods is right there available. So I think it's just going to take time, and when you see these, I think these defenses were really keying in on Robert Woods, and that's why you saw Cooper Kupp kind of becoming the guy.
Yeah, I mean, I know I made the joke that they go ice fishing together, but apparently they were actually roommates during training camp, so that's probably why.
Cooper Kupp.
Cooper Kupp and Stafford, yeah, they room together.
Yeah, Cooper Kupp seems to do that because he was the same way with Jared Goff.
Hey, he's smart. He ain't stupid. Yeah, but I mean, this dude, Cooper Kupp, has 5 touchdowns through 3 games. I mean,
he's pretty horny.
Yeah, man, he's out here doing his thing. So I mean, but yeah, like I said last time, unless he's gonna go for 3,000 yards and 100 touchdowns, Robert Woods should eventually break out. And just like we've been saying, I think this is in the same field as far as this could be your last week to get him, because I just don't see him. I don't see Robert Woods giving you 4, like top scoring games, because usually he's set and forget wide receiver 2 with upside like every week.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like last year Robert Woods was just like
you're prototypical.
Set and forget it. You weren't really worried about him. He was getting his. Like I said, I mean, I'm not worried about Higbee. I'm not a big Higbee guy. Obviously, Deshaun Jackson got his the other day.
Eating.
You get Von Jefferson sprinkled in here and there. Tutu Atwell, a little couple there. But at the end of the day, it's Cooper Kupp is obviously the alpha one here. But then it's Robert Woods is the number 2, and this is one of the most prolific passing offenses in the NFL right now.
Yeah.
So, give me the number 2 receiver on that team all day, every day.
For sure.
And see how disrespectful we are to other receivers? That's how much we love Robert Woods and Cooper Kupp. Tyler doesn't even know Van Jefferson's name.
Yeah.
What is it? What did I say?
You said Vaughn Jefferson.
Vaughn Jefferson.
I'm just
fucking.
Hey, he's close. No, T has an English. T has an English accent. It's Vaughn.
Vaughn
Jefferson.
Hey, bro.
I got you, T. Don't trip.
I'm just saying because
he's not on my team, Jefferson.
Vaughn.
We just have all these comment warriors. You know what I mean? They let us know.
Yeah, they can come. They can come see us outside.
Yeah, and then we'll give them a
high five.
We'll offer them some Bobby Trees, and then we'll see how they feel.
Okay. All right, let's move away from Bobby Trees and let's move towards Calvin Ridley.
Oh, man.
Buy low on Calvin Ridley. But I mean,
yes. I mean,
this is what's I haven't really.
So let me ask you this question before you jump into. I don't know whose guy this is, but we had a trade question. We had a trade question earlier in the day, and it said, "Do I trade Terry McLaurin to get Calvin Ridley?" And my response was, "Yes, yes." Do you guys agree or no?
I would trade Terry for Calvin Ridley.
I mean,
who would you prefer rest of the season, Calvin Ridley or Terry McLaurin?
Well, here's the
Terry
thing.
McLaurin.
Well,
Terry McLaurin, really?
So you try? Yeah. Well, I guess I was gonna say, do you like Tyler Heineke or Matt Ryan?
It just, dude, their offense just looks like shit.
Atlanta's offense does not look great.
Like they just don't, bro. The Giant, I don't know.
Okay,
all right, just some numbers here. Red zone targets: Calvin Ridley 7, McLaurin 2. End zone targets: Calvin Ridley 3, McLaurin 1. McLaurin does have a 2% higher target share, 28% compared to Ridley's 26% target share. But I do think once Curtis Samuel comes back, he'll eat into some of that target share for McLaurin. But yeah, I was just curious what your guys' thoughts was. I'm still all in on Calvin Ridley. I mean, if someone's willing to part ways with Calvin Ridley, and you're not giving up a top tier talent. I'm not saying McLaurin's not top tier, but you probably already have a solid wide receiver 1 potentially, and he might be your number 2. And now you can have I don't know, maybe you drafted Diggs, or maybe you drafted Devontae Adams, maybe you drafted D-Hop, and now you can get, instead of D-Hop and McLaurin, or Devontae Adams and McLaurin, you get Calvin Ridley as your 2. I mean, that sounds insane to me. But
Yeah.
Would you rather have DJ Moore or Calvin Ridley?
Calvin Ridley. So give me Calvin Ridley.
I
think
might
they
take
figured
DJ
out. I think they
Moore.
figured out.
I like Sam Darnold.
I mean,
I like Sam
Panthers
Darnold.
just.
I
Yeah.
like DJ Moore. I mean, yeah.
I mean, it's close. I would still obviously try to get him, but I would. There's certain guys I wouldn't give up. I think him and McLaurin are splitting hairs. I think they could finish right next to each other.
Yeah.
So I mean, that is a good question, but
But yeah, you dive into it. My bad.
No. You're good. I mean, he's averaging a little over 9 targets a game. He hasn't passed 65 receiving yards in any game yet. 1 touchdown. I mean, the talent's there for sure. You just said 26 target percentage as far as target share. The 11 games without Julio was 30, so that took a little bit of a dip from last year, wherever that's being fucking distributed, whatever. But yeah, he's got 9, 10, and 11 with the target, so he's getting the looks. They're just not doing much. He's not doing much with it. But yes, I would still buy low. Obviously, I would take him, but it's just a matter of whatever team that has him, whatever they need, I would try to figure some out. But there's just no way he just continues this. He's a beast, dude. He had 1,300 plus receiving yards last year.
Well,
I mean, Julio wasn't even playing, so it's not like he needed Julio on the field because he did it without him on the field. So it's he could do it.
There was games. I remember that because there would be games where we were all trying to decide if Julio being out would help or hurt Calvin Ridley, and it didn't. It just didn't really affect it at all. It was just the guy still put up good numbers.
Yeah. So I'll take him. I'm sure there's in the leagues that have Calvin Ridley and that I know, in the 3 I can think off the top of my head, they're all 1 and 2. I want to say so. They're probably looking to get rid of him.
Yeah.
But
I'm totally with trading for Calvin Ridley.
Yeah,
it makes me, honestly, talking about it makes me want to go send more trades for Calvin Ridley, actually.
I just sent one out right now.
Yeah, did you? Check your phone. You trade me. Do you want to move on to anything else? Oh, also a lot of other receivers. I was going to say, remember we watched that podcast with AJ Brown or listened to it, talking about Calvin Ridley, and he was talking about him as a wide receiver.
Hanging with the boys? Is that what's called?
Yeah. Bussing with the boys.
With the boys, yeah. With what's his name? Taylor Lewan?
Yeah, the Titans tackle.
Well, one thing that kind of really, obviously Calvin Ridley's been really good last year. He was kind of our breakout guy. I think we all, Dre, you might have called that one. But just watching some and obviously it's one-on-ones. When you're doing these one-on-ones in training camps and these joint practices, when you're one-on-one guarding a receiver, it's nearly impossible to guard a receiver.
It's too hard.
It's nearly impossible. But I was watching some of these highlights where Calvin Ridley was going against Byron Jones and Xavier Howard from the Dolphins, and he was just making them look ridiculous.
Really?
His routes are stupid.
His route running was and Xavier Howard is one of the best corners in the league. Byron Jones,
solid, very good.
I'm not a big Byron Jones fan, honestly, but I mean he's one of the highest paid corners in the league, at least. But yeah, Calvin Ridley was just making them look like bums,
like freshman football players.
It's not the problem of can he get open down the field or can he do this? I mean, obviously defenses are probably double teaming and scheming him. That's why he's getting a lot of underneath stuff instead of over the top stuff. But hopefully, Kyle Pitts can start to get more acclimated to the offense. Hopefully, it is a new offense.
Yeah, that's the
system. So hopefully they get more acclimated and get a better rapport, and this offense can finally start to open up. Plus, they're not a good defense at all, so they're always going to be in a pass mode. It's going to be pass.
I think that's the biggest thing is they're readjusting. Their team has completely changed. Who was their running back last year? Todd Gurley?
Yeah.
I mean, you know what I mean? And then they trade for Mike Davis. They drafted number 1 tight end. Freaking
crazy.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Shouldn't have done that.
Silly. But yeah. So I'm totally with it. Calvin Ridley. We talked enough on Calvin Ridley.
I also heard the Falcons worked out John Brown. John Brown does good when he plays.
Yeah.
With the Bills, he was a top 25.
Yeah, totally.
He's solid. It just
No,
he might need it.
I think that would be a great signing for them.
For sure.
Yeah, might actually
100%.
help out with Calvin Ridley a lot.
For sure.
All right, Let's go on to Stefon Diggs. Tyler's telling you to go and trade for Stefon Diggs.
There's a lot of big names are going
dig
over
deep.
here. You know, you got Diggs, Ridley.
These are all
Jonathan
like
Taylor. So,
These are top 20 picks.
but I mean,
Yeah.
you don't know. Like sometimes people they start to panic, you know, and they're just like, oh man, like this guy's. I don't know. You know, some people they might get like irritated, like, oh, you know, I drafted this guy, he's not doing anything, yada yada, or you know, if you have a Diggs owner, you're thinking like, oh, Manny Sanders is getting all the love. You know, Cole Beasley has been like this PPR target guy, but, I mean, you got to think Diggs is, you know, last year led the NFL in receiving yards, and maybe he doesn't repeat that with, you know, with all the other weapons of, you know, Gabriel Davis is emerging as a, you know, just a capable receiver in the NFL. You know, you got the man crush Manny Sanders there, Cole Beasley. But one thing it is like, you know, we were watching the first quarter or first half of the Bills Washington game, and it's like, bro, it's just pass, run, pass. So
Josh Allen had 4 passing touchdowns and 1 rushing last week.
Yeah, dude, it's
Crazy.
and to think that Diggs didn't get involved in that at all is almost insane, right?
Yeah.
When you think of how, you know, the connection and the rapport that they had last year. But I mean, 3 games he's been held to under 70 yards in all 3 games. He's been pretty solid in terms of PPR. He does have a 26% target share, which is the 14th highest for wide receivers. So you like seeing that still. And then 32 targets is tied 5th most in the NFL. So, I mean, this guy's still going to be a top 10 at the end of the season, like a top 10 target guy. So I think if you can get him on the low, because his value was, I mean, he was going in like the back end of the first round, second round. So, I mean, maybe you can package something together now and get Diggs. And this is why I'm always personally preaching on, like, you know, having a deep bench, you know, and trade equity and stuff like that. And it's like, it doesn't matter if you have a good starting lineup. Like, just always try to get the best total lineup, bench included, that you can. Because now, let's say if you have like a guy, I don't know, top of my head, like let's say you have a guy like Tyler Lockett, and then you have another receiver, you know, or running back, and you pair those guys a little 2-for-1, and you get Diggs. And it's like, to me, I still want Diggs rest of the season over Tyler Lockett. I know Tyler Lockett's had the crazy good start, good for him, but. And at the end of the day, I still think Diggs is going to be better than him. I'm just using Tyler Lockett as an example.
Yeah, Tyler Lockett's inconsistent.
No, I agree.
I'm totally with that trade.
If you could get a 2-for-1 and you could get a guy like Diggs, I'm pulling the trigger all day, every day. I was asking you guys, you know, off air.
Yeah, if you could,
like I already have. Who is it? I have Calvin Ridley. Brandon Cooks has been pretty solid. You know, I'm a big Brandon Cooks guy. I like that. Marvin Jones has been solid. I know, Dre, that was your guy. You called it in the offseason, Marvin Jones. And then I have Amari Cooper, and then I got Michael Thomas on the bench. So I feel like my wide receiver depth is pretty solid here. So I'm not the biggest Amari Cooper fan. I think he's a great player, but he's too boom or bust for me, for my liking. So I was telling you, should I trade a Cooper and a Marvin Jones and try to get a guy like Diggs? Because I feel like I have the depth at the wide receiver position, but I would feel more comfortable on a week-to-week basis having Diggs as my like 1A, 1B with Calvin Ridley compared to Amari Cooper as my 1A, 1B. And then I don't really need Marvin Jones. He's balling out for me. But at the end of the day, I'm still going to start Brandon Cooks in. It's a double flex league, and Michael Thomas. I'm just giving my whole strategy here for my team now.
Hopefully they're not watching. Hey, if you're in T's league,
but
now you know.
Yeah, the whole point
Now
is like
you know.
doing something like that. 2-for-1.
For sure.
If I can buy Diggs on the low, I still love the upside that he presents with Josh Allen in this offense.
Yeah, I think a good example, maybe if you trade one of those, like, I don't know, a receiver like you were talking about, and then maybe that and like Cordero Patterson. Because if you realistically think about it, the person who has Stefon Diggs, they could be in a situation where they drafted Jonathan Taylor, it comes back around, they grabbed Stefon Diggs, and then they didn't get a running back till the 3rd round. So they could be in a total situation where they're fucked. And their running backs is not going well, and then they need something. And you picked up Cordero Patterson, and then you throw Tyler Lockett as well with that, and grab a Stefon Diggs. I'm not mad at it.
Yeah, no, for sure. Would you trade like a Tyler Lockett and a Marquise Hollywood Brown to get Diggs? Like 2-for-1?
Yeah,
I feel like that's too much.
No, I would trade I would trade. Yeah, I would trade it.
Give it to me. Sign it. Give me Diggs all day on that.
Yeah.
One.
No, yeah, for sure. I mean, I guess for depth,
bro, Ravens
I don't know.
I'm just
player,
saying,
come
like,
on.
scenarios of where, like, you could do that. You could pull off a
if you could-
2-for-1. And,
for sure.
You know, maybe hypothetically you're giving up more on paper, points per game-wise or whatever you want to think, values. You know, if you look at a trade chart, like, you know, I'm giving up way more value in terms of the trade chart, quote-unquote, than what I'm getting in return for Diggs. But at the end of the day, like, you're boosting that position for the long-term season hold is what I always aim for.
Think about this. In that situation, you got Tyler Lockett as a wide receiver 2 that's super inconsistent. And then you got Hollywood Brown on the worst most inaccurate quarterback in the fucking league.
Trevor Lawrence?
No, not Trevor Lawrence, but Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson. You know what I mean? And then you're getting a wide receiver 1 on the Bills, which is like one of the pass heaviest teams in the league.
Yeah.
Fucking sign me up.
Would you do Melvin Gordon and Marvin Jones for Diggs?
Yes,
for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, I feel like Melvin Gordon's like top 12. I know it's weird. We'll talk about him in a minute, but. I mean, on paper, I feel like if you have Diggs, you need running backs, though. Like, unless you went Diggs and then 3 running backs. Because Diggs is like a first-round pick or second-round pick.
I just think I'm trying to get Diggs in, like, every league I can get him in right now. I have him in a good chunk, but the ones I don't, I'm still trying to make the moves. And just because I feel like, I don't know. I feel like we haven't seen a Diggs game yet.
Not yet.
We haven't seen him go for, like, 8 for 120 and 2 touchdowns.
He's a beast.
So,
he's
and I was telling Mike, I almost feel like they haven't really needed him. I could be wrong on this one, but I feel like they really haven't been like in a game scenario where like we need to like hammer Diggs. We need to we need a clutch play, so we got to get to Diggs. Where Josh Allen's just kind of he's like freestyling.
Yeah,
I dig it.
You digs it. What'd you say? You said you liked that video, and it was really informative, and now you want to subscribe so you can win your fantasy football league. Okay, go ahead. You wish that we would live stream and answer fantasy football questions every Sunday before the games? Okay, they sure do. AVG Fantasy Football has your back. Did you get what I did there? It was a little Dora the Explorer, a little back and forth. Like we weren't actually talking, but you thought maybe you did. Yeah, you thought. Yeah, I convinced you. It's called acting. What else did you say? You said that you want to be able to call in while we do live streams? Hey, should I start McCaffrey? Well, yeah. Here it is. This is an example of what's going to happen. Hello? Yes. I'm curious. Should I start Dalvin Cook? Then this is us. Yeah. Obviously, you should play Dalvin Cook because Dalvin Cook's like really good. So I'd say, it is matchup proof. So put him in your lineup. It's that damn easy. And then bam, you won your fantasy football league that week. But yeah, go ahead and subscribe to the YouTube channel if you want to see more videos just like this. If you want to see us answer questions live every Sunday before the games start, hit that subscribe button, hit the bell notification so you know right when we drop content for you to win your fantasy football league.